Ree Drummond, the popular Oklahoma chef and entrepreneur, better known as the Pioneer Woman, making headlines tonight after her nephew and husband were involved in a collision while battling a fire on the Drummond Ranch in Osage County, Oklahoma.
On March 10th, 2021, a blinding wall of smoke from an Oklahoma wildfire caused two heavy fire rigs to collide head-on. At the scene, a stubborn cowboy fiercely refused medical care, choosing instead to drive himself to the hospital, where doctors discovered his neck was fractured in two places.
For years, millions of people have known Ladd Drummond as the quiet cowboy beside Ree Drummond, the famous Pioneer Woman. But in recent days, a new wave of headlines has left many fans deeply concerned. Some posts online claim things are getting worse for Ladd, while others say the truth is being hidden. So what is really happening? And why are so many people suddenly worried about a man who has spent most of his life avoiding the spotlight? Ladd has never been the kind of person who chases fame. Even after Ree became one of America's best-known television personalities, cookbook authors, and food bloggers, he preferred life on the ranch in Oklahoma. That quiet lifestyle has made every public update about him feel important. Recently, social media has been filled with alarming claims about Ladd's health. Some of those stories spread incredibly fast, but many offered little or no evidence. That has left fans wondering what is fact and what is simply rumor. Finding the real story means looking beyond dramatic headlines and focusing on information confirmed by trusted sources, such as Ree Drummond's own updates, major news outlets, and public interviews. Here's a question for you. Do you think social media makes it harder to know the truth when celebrities face personal struggles? The concern surrounding Ladd isn't coming out of nowhere. Over the past few years, fans have watched him go through one of the most painful chapters of his life. They have also noticed changes that naturally raise questions. But not every online rumor tells the full story, and some have gone much further than the available facts support. As we separate truth from speculation, one thing becomes clear. Ladd's story is not just about headlines. It is about resilience, family, and the heavy demands of a life spent working one of America's largest cattle ranches. The events that started this journey shocked even those closest to him, and their effects are still being discussed today. But before we can understand why people are so concerned now, we need to go back to the day when everything changed in an instant, a ranch accident that could have ended very differently. To understand why today's headlines worry so many people, we have to return to one unforgettable day in March 2021. It began like any other morning on the Drummond Ranch. Then, within moments, an ordinary job turned into a frightening accident that made national news. Ladd and his nephew, Caleb Drummond, were each driving separate fire trucks while responding to a grass fire on the family's Oklahoma ranch. According to the Oklahoma Highway Patrol and reports from major outlets, including People and Today, strong winds and heavy smoke made it difficult to see. The two trucks collided head-on. The crash was serious. Caleb suffered injuries but was able to leave the hospital after treatment. Ladd's condition was far more concerning than many people first realized. At the time, he refused medical treatment at the scene because he wanted to make sure everyone else was safe first. It was only later that doctors discovered he had broken his neck in two places. That revelation stunned fans. Even more surprising was what came next. Ree Drummond later shared that doctors told Ladd he had been incredibly fortunate. The fractures were stable enough that surgery was not required. Instead, he had to wear a neck brace for weeks while his body healed naturally. Doctors warned him to avoid movements that could make the injury worse. For most people, that advice would have meant complete rest. But Ladd was not most people. Almost as soon as he felt able, he wanted to return to the ranch. Caring for thousands of cattle and managing such a large operation does not stop because someone is injured. The work continues every day, and Ladd felt responsible for being there. Ree has often described him as someone who loves ranching more than almost anything else. Everything seemed to be moving in the right direction. Fans celebrated every update that showed him smiling again or slowly returning to work. Many believed the worst was finally behind him. If you're enjoying stories that reveal what really happened behind the headlines, make sure to subscribe because what comes next is based on verified facts that many people have never heard. Still, recovery from a major neck injury is rarely simple. Pain can linger. Physical work becomes harder. And for someone whose life depends on long days outdoors, every task can become a challenge. Then fans started noticing small changes. A few public appearances, comments from Rhee, and fresh online rumors combined to create a new wave of concern. Some people feared the old injuries were catching up with him. Others believed something even more serious was happening. But were those fears based on facts, or were they the result of internet speculation growing far beyond the truth? The answer is more complicated than many people realize. As Ladd slowly returned to everyday life, many fans expected things to go back to normal. For a while, that seemed to be exactly what was happening. He appeared alongside Rhee on social media, continued helping on the ranch, and even made occasional appearances on The Pioneer Woman. But as time passed, viewers began noticing small details that led to bigger questions. Some fans thought Ladd looked thinner than before. Others noticed that he seemed to move more carefully or appeared less often in videos. On social media, these observations quickly turned into dramatic claims. Before long, some posts were suggesting that his health had taken a serious turn. The problem was that many of those claims had no reliable evidence behind them. When looking at verified information, a different picture begins to emerge. Rhee Drummond has openly shared parts of Ladd's recovery through her blog and interviews over the years. She has described how determined he was to get back to work, even when she wished he would slow down. She has also joked that convincing Ladd to rest is almost impossible because ranching is more than a job to him. It is simply who he is. That determination is inspiring, but also comes with risks. Medical experts often explain that healing from a broken neck can take months, and even after the bones recover, some people continue to deal with stiffness, soreness, or reduced movement. Every person's recovery is different. Without direct medical updates, no one can honestly say exactly how Ladd feels today. That is where many online rumors become misleading. There is no verified public evidence from the Drummond family or credible news organizations showing that Ladd is facing a new life-threatening medical crisis. While fans may notice changes in photos or videos, appearances alone cannot confirm someone's health. Responsible reporting means separating observation from fact. Still, there is another side to the story that often gets overlooked. Ladd's daily life has never been easy. Running a massive cattle ranch requires long hours, physical strength, and constant attention. Weather does not wait. Animals still need care every single day. Even after a serious injury, those responsibilities do not disappear. Most of us may never run a ranch or become well known, but almost everyone understands what it feels like to keep going even when life becomes harder than expected. Sometimes we carry pain quietly because the people around us depend on us. That part of Ladd's story may be the reason so many people relate to him. But the biggest challenge may not have been the accident itself. The real test was returning to the demanding life he had always known, a life where slowing down was never really an option. And that hidden pressure reveals a side of Ladd Drummond that many viewers have never seen. Long before television cameras arrived at the Drummond Ranch, Ladd Drummond had already built his life around hard work. The ranch, located near Pawhuska, Oklahoma, is part of a long family ranching tradition that stretches back for generations. Managing such a large operation is not a 9-to-5 job. It often begins before sunrise and continues until long after the sun goes down. Every day brings new challenges. Thousands of cattle must be fed and checked. Fences need repairs. Equipment can break without warning. Storms, drought, and wildfires can change plans in a matter of hours. According to agricultural experts in the U.S. Department of Agriculture, ranching is one of the most physically demanding occupations in America, with workers facing high risks of injury from heavy machinery, livestock, rough terrain, and extreme weather. For someone recovering from broken bones and neck, that kind of work is especially demanding. Rhee has shared in interviews and on her blog that Ladd never enjoyed sitting still. Even while wearing his neck brace after the 2021 accident, he was eager to return to the ranch. His family often encouraged him to take things slowly, but his commitment to the work and to the people who depend on him made that difficult. That strong work ethic has earned him respect from fans, but it has also fueled concern. When people see Ladd looking tired or appearing less often on television, many immediately assume the worst. In reality, there are many possible reasons. He has always preferred life behind the scenes. Unlike Ree, who spends much of her career filming shows, writing books, and connecting with fans, Ladd has consistently chosen the ranch over the spotlight. Even so, every new photo or public appearance is carefully examined online. A single image can spark hundreds of comments, and a short video can lead to thousands of theories. In today's world, speculation often travels much faster than facts. That is why it is important to rely on verified information instead of viral rumors. As of the latest confirmed public updates, there has been no official statement from the Drummond family or credible news organizations indicating that Ladd is facing a new medical emergency. While his past injuries were serious and recovery has likely been challenging, many alarming claims circulating online remain unverified. Yet one question still remains. After surviving a life-changing accident, continuing to work one of America's most demanding jobs, and staying out of the public eye, what kind of legacy is Ladd Drummond leaving behind? And what does the future hold for him, his family, and the ranch that has defined his entire life? In the end, Ladd Drummond's story is not one of defeat. It is a story of resilience, responsibility, and quiet strength. While dramatic headlines often suggest that something terrible has happened, the verified facts tell a more balanced story. The 2021 ranch accident was real, and it was incredibly serious. According to the Oklahoma Highway Patrol and updates shared by Ree Drummond, Ladd suffered 2 fractures in his neck after the collision with his nephew Caleb's fire truck while responding to a wildfire. Doctors considered him fortunate that surgery was not necessary. His recovery required patience, and like many people recovering from significant injuries, the road back was not easy. Since then, fans have continued to watch every public appearance closely. That attention comes from a place of genuine care. However, it is important to remember that not every social media post reflects reality. Many alarming claims about Ladd's current condition have spread without confirmation from the family or reputable news organizations. In fact, the Drummonds have continued sharing glimpses of ranch life, family gatherings, holidays, and special moments. While Ladd may appear less frequently than some viewers expect, that has never been unusual. Long before fame found the family, he preferred the quiet life of a rancher over the attention that comes with television. Perhaps that is what makes his stories so meaningful. He never tried to become a celebrity. He simply continued doing the work he loved, even after facing one of the biggest challenges of his life. His determination has inspired many people who have followed the family's journey over the years. Most of us will never own a ranch or appear on national television, but almost everyone has faced moments when life suddenly changed, when the future felt uncertain, or when getting back up seemed almost impossible. Ladd's journey reminds us that courage is not always loud. Sometimes it is simply choosing to keep moving forward, one day at a time. As of the latest verified public information, there is no confirmed evidence that Ladd Drummond is facing the kind of new health crisis described in many viral posts. If new information is released by the family or confirmed through credible reporting, it deserves attention. Until then, separating fact from speculation remains the fairest approach. But this story leaves us with one final question. How have other well-known television personalities managed to rebuild their lives after surviving life-changing accidents? And what lessons can we learn from their journeys? That story may surprise you, and you can watch it next right here on the channel. Ready to publish. Engagement CTA used. Do you think social media makes it harder to know the truth when celebrities face personal struggles? Conversion CTA used. If you're enjoying stories that reveal what really happened behind the headlines, make sure to subscribe because what comes next is based on verified facts that many people have never heard. Community CTA used. Most of us will never own a ranch or appear on national television, but almost everyone has faced moments when life suddenly changed, when the future felt uncertain, or when getting back up seemed almost impossible. Retention CTA used. But this story leaves us with one final question. How have other well-known television personalities managed to rebuild their lives after surviving life-changing accidents? And what lessons can we learn from their journeys? That story may surprise you, and you can watch it next right here on the channel. Even after everything Ladd Drummond had been through, the biggest challenge may not have been the broken bones or the painful recovery. It may have been learning to accept that life had changed. For someone who had spent decades working long days on horseback, driving across rough land, fixing fences, and caring for cattle. Slowing down was never part of the plan. Friends and family have often described Ladd as someone who enjoys hard work more than public attention. That is one reason many fans admire him so much. But recovering from a serious injury can be frustrating. Doctors often explain that neck injuries do not simply disappear once the brace comes off. Even when the bones heal, muscles can remain stiff, and everyday movements may feel different for months or even years. Every recovery is unique, and only Ladd and his doctors know exactly how he feels today. Because of that, it is important not to confuse internet guesses with confirmed facts. One thing is certain: the Drummond family has continued moving forward. Over the years, Rhea shared many happy family moments with her audience. Fans have seen birthdays, holidays, weddings, ranch work, and time spent with children and grandchildren. These updates remind people that while difficult moments become headlines, everyday life usually continues behind the scenes. That balance is something many viewers forget. Online, bad news spreads much faster than good news. A single misleading headline can reach millions of people in just a few hours. Before anyone checks the facts, thousands of comments may already be claiming the worst. Ladd's story is a perfect example of why verified information matters. Many videos and social media posts use emotional titles to attract attention. Some even suggest that his condition has suddenly become critical. Yet without confirmation from the Drummond family or trusted news organizations, those claims remain speculation. And that raises an important question. Why are people so quick to believe shocking stories? The answer may say as much about us as it does about celebrities. The truth is, Ladd Drummond has never tried to build a public image. In fact, that may be exactly why so many people trust him. Unlike many television personalities, Ladd rarely gives interviews. He does not spend hours posting on social media or sharing every detail of his life. Most fans know him through Reed Drummond stories, family photos, and occasional appearances on The Pioneer Woman. That mystery has made him one of the most talked about members of the Drummond family. But there's another side to the story that deserves attention. Long before television crews arrived at the ranch, the Drummond family had already built one of the largest cattle operations in the United States. Various public reports estimate that the Drummonds manage hundreds of thousands of acres of ranch land in Oklahoma through family-owned operations. Managing a ranch of that size is a massive responsibility. Every day brings difficult decisions. Weather can destroy months of work. Cattle require constant care. Equipment must be maintained. Employees depend on steady leadership. There are no weekends when animals need attention. That kind of lifestyle can take a physical and mental toll on anyone. When Ladd was recovering from his neck injury, many people wondered whether he would ever return to the same level of activity. According to Reed's updates, he gradually resumed ranch work much sooner than many expected. While that determination impressed fans, it also showed just how deeply connected he is to the land and the life he has built. Still, the internet often ignores these facts. Instead, many videos focus only on fear. They zoom in on a single photograph or a short clip and claim it proves something dramatic is happening. But a picture captures only one moment. It cannot tell the whole story of someone's health or daily life. This is why trusted reporting matters. When respected news organizations such as People Today and the Oklahoman covered Ladd's accident, they relied on official reports and statements from the family. That is very different from anonymous social media accounts making unsupported claims. As viewers, we all have a choice. We can believe the loudest headline, or we can wait for the facts. Ironically, that may be the biggest lesson Ladd Drummond has taught without ever trying to teach it. His quiet approach to life reminds us that strength is not measured by how much attention we receive. Sometimes the strongest people are the ones who simply keep showing up, doing their work, and taking care of the people who matter most. But there is one final chapter to this story that many fans don't know, a chapter about Ladd's legacy, the future of the Drummond Ranch, and what could happen in the years ahead. As the years pass, one question continues to stay in the mind of fans. What will Ladd Drummond's legacy be? For some people, he will always be known as the Pioneer Woman's husband. But those who know the family story understand that Ladd's life has always been much bigger than television. Long before millions of viewers discovered the Drummonds through Ree's blog, cookbooks, and Food Network show, Ladd was already dedicated to ranching. He chose a life of hard work instead of the spotlight. Even after the family became famous, that never really changed. Perhaps that is why so many people respect him. He never tried to become an internet celebrity. He never chased headlines. Instead, he focused on his family, his ranch, and the traditions that have been passed down through generations. The frightening accident in 2021 reminded everyone that life can change without warning. One ordinary day became a life-changing moment in just a few seconds. According to official reports and Reed Drummond's public updates, Ladd was fortunate to survive with injuries that could have been far worse. His recovery became an inspiring story, not because it was perfect, but because he refused to give up. That determination continues to define him. Today, many rumors still appear online from time to time. Some claim his health is declining. Others suggest secret problems that have never been confirmed. But responsible reporting requires us to separate facts from speculation. As of the latest verified public information available, there's been no official confirmation from the Drummond family or credible news organizations that Ladd Drummond is facing a new serious health crisis. His past injuries were real, but many recent viral claims remain unsupported. That is an important reminder in today's digital world. Not every trending headline tells the truth. Sometimes, the real story is quieter, simpler, and far more human. Ladd's journey is ultimately about resilience. It is about getting knocked down by life and finding the strength to stand again. Whether you live on a ranch, work in an office, or care for your family every day, that message speaks to all of us. Most of us will never experience television fame, but almost everyone understands what it feels like to face uncertainty, overcome setbacks, and keep moving forward despite fear. That is why Ladd's story continues to inspire so many people. Only time will reveal what the future holds for the Drummond family. Fans will undoubtedly continue following their journey, hoping for more happy moments and many healthy years ahead. And perhaps the biggest lesson from this story is this. Instead of believing every shocking headline we see online, we should wait for verified facts, appreciate the people we care about while we can, and remember that courage is often found in the quiet moments no camera ever captures. But this story also raises another fascinating question. How did other beloved television stars overcome life-changing tragedies? And why did some recover while others never fully did? That incredible story is waiting for you in our next video.